March Winnacunnet School Board meeting. I'm Meredith Nato, I'm the superintendent, and because this is the reorganization meeting of the board, I have the privilege of opening the meeting, so I would ask you to please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, I want to welcome our newest board member, Tracy Emerson Williams. So congratulations, representing Northampton. Hi, everybody. Thank you. And then I'm going to jump right to it. So I would like to ask for nominations for chair.
I'll nominate Leslie to be chair.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Are there any other nominations? Okay, seeing none, we have a nomination from Nicole and a second from Tricia for Leslie O'Keefe as chair. Is there any discussion
Leslie
on
LaFond.
What'd you say? I said Leslie O'Keefe.
Well, no, that's next.
You're just next to each other,
Yeah.
you know.
Next lifetime, that's right.
We can all change our names, change the day, it's okay. For Leslie LaFond to serve as chair, nomination from Nicole, second from Tricia. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor? Any opposed or abstentions? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you. I would like to nominate Nicole as vice chair.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Do I not vote?
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Nicole.
Thank you.
Nicole.
All right, so now we have public hearings on withdrawal of funds. Matt? So we're opening a public hearing at this point, correct?
Yes.
That's 6:32.
Thank you. So the purpose of this public hearing is to provide an opportunity for public comment. And that is on the proposed withdrawal from the Building Maintenance Expendable Trust as well as the Health Insurance Expendable Trust and the expenditure of unanticipated revenue and retained budgetary fund balance. So as you're aware, we are facing a budget deficit due to 4 primary reasons. Those are unanticipated special education costs, higher than expected vocational expenses, so that's tuition for SST, some building related repairs, and that is really in the HVAC and boiler systems. We've had some significant repairs that were necessary, as well as an overexpenditure in our health insurance account. So we are currently forecasting a total deficit of approximately $300,000. And in order to address this shortfall, we are recommending expending up to $150,000 in surplus revenue, utilizing $165,000 from the retained budgetary fund balance, withdrawing up to $115,000 from the building trust, and up to $100,000 in the health insurance expendable trust. The motion to utilize the surplus revenue is just a procedural vote necessary to cover appropriations. We factor in that surplus revenue, but in order for it to cover appropriations, we just need that procedural vote. The use of retained fund balance and the trust withdrawals will cover any remaining shortfall. However, I do want to emphasize that these are maximum amounts. These are very conservative numbers just to ensure for any unanticipated costs between now and the end of the fiscal year, June 30th. We do expect the actual withdrawal to be lower once we finalize our fiscal year numbers. But currently, we are projecting $300,000. So. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments at this time? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing at 6:35. And we will open public comment at 6:35. Do we have any public comment today? We'll keep that open to 7:00.
So, no, just you let us know.
Yeah, yep. So it'll be staying open till 7:05 for public comment. So we're gonna do presentation. Go ahead. Yes, please.
Good evening. My name is Warren Mackinson. I'm a trustee of trust funds. I'm the chair. And I just wanted to bring you up to date with your current balance in the two funds that you're interested in withdrawing from. So the building maintenance fund is about $219,000. And the healthcare fund is $314,000. So that'll give you some context to what you're trying to do. And these are January 31st numbers, and they're rounded to the nearest thousand.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're going to we'll do the Friends first.
Sure.
Yeah. Go ahead, Linda, the Friends of Winnacunnet.
Oh, it's not, okay. Okay,
Hi, everybody. Is this on?
It's on
Can you
for
hear me?
people at home.
Okay. So I'm Linda Libby, and I call myself the grants facilitator, administrator of the Friends of Winnacunnet, and then I'm bringing up here who she can chat in a minute. But this is one of our brand new board members. We have been trying to recruit new members to replace us old folks that started the Friends of Winnacunnet back in 2005. But this is Erica York. She's from Hampton, and she's super energetic and motivated and going to help us do all kinds of great things with the foundation. But the reason for our attendance tonight is that we wanted to announce our spring grant rounds, which we're super excited about. And I did kind of create a little sort of a cheat sheet to it, and I'm sure Bill already did that as well in your principal's report, if you want to hand that out. And could I just have one of them? So the committee met, we do grant rounds twice a year in the fall and the spring. This past fall, we did not have any applications at all, which made us all very sad. But this spring, we had 8 applicants, and every single one of them was awarded the grant. And for some of them, we even increased the grant amount. So we're thrilled to be awarding this to all of the people that applied. We're super excited that we had a student apply. So I'm just going to read through them really quickly. We had a student, Jenna Kelly from Hampton Falls. She is doing a really fun event, educational event called Healthy Cooking on a Budget. She's partnered with a pretty famous Winnacunnet alum who is a chef, Dan Dumont. Some of you may know his name, but the Dumont family is very famous. And so she's doing that, and I believe that's part of an ELO program, if I'm not mistaken. And then Carl Prinslaw is going to do the summer boat building program, which has always been very successful with our students in the summertime. And then Lieutenant Colonel Drown is going to be getting $778 for the MCJ ROTC program. It's going to be a marksmanship program, safety and training support, and they've been doing really well with their marksmanship program. So congrats on that. And then Catherine Chilson, who is a very dynamic, energetic teacher in our FACS program. She applied to get some more heavy-duty equipment for her sewing classes. It's called Sewing the Future, Empowering Students with Professional Equipment, which is certain to draw more students getting interested in that program. And then also we have, this is also exciting because Winnacunnet is going to be hosting the Seacoast Unified Sports Day here at our school. And we are donating $4,000 towards that. We want to be considered the sponsor of the event. And it's Brandon Albert and Olivia Bessie who are going to be doing that. And we actually, some of us volunteered to help out at that event. And also the next grant is Michael McCarran, who wants to do a Earth Day paper use initiative. He's applying for a very small piece of equipment to basically take paper that they don't use, that are mistakes maybe in the copy center, and sort of turn them into notebooks or scratch pads or anything like that, where it's basically reusing and recycling and repurposing paper that's, instead of wasting it, right? And then the next one would be the Sarah Trahan and Andrew Gushy $5,000 towards the close-up trip, which my own children went, and one of them went twice. They loved it so much. Such a great program. And then the next one is Julie Hall applied for additional equipment to expand the virtual reality program, which is $2,000. And then just so you know, this grant total for this round was $15,193.27. The total grants awarded to date to teachers and students who applied is $110,797. And then adding to that, our electronic sign should be installed sometime in the spring, maybe in the next month. The maximum estimate for that was around $90,000, but it may come in under. We're not quite sure of that number. But then also we had donated $10,000 to the ADA walkway. So the grand total, if we add all those numbers together for Friends of Winnacunnet since we started, is $2,010.797. So we're very proud of that work. Yeah, thank you. And, you know, we really want to support teachers and students for any kind of idea to enhance education at the high school, and that's really our main mission. And then having your group of friends join the committee, and we're going to seek to expand even more members. I didn't know if you wanted to add anything.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm Erica York, and I'm a resident of Hampton. I was or I guess currently am, I was a longtime PTA board member for SAU 90. I was the events coordinator, and I'm actually hosting the Wizards here, so thank you for letting us use your gym on Monday, April 7th, and we're really excited. In addition to myself, Sarah Elliott, who is actually newly elected to the school board and SAU 90, is also a member of the Friends of Winnacunnet board, as is Jackie Maraca. So we're really looking forward to changing course from years on the PTA, from fundraising to now being able to, you know, give money away to where it can be put to good use. So I look forward to making this, you know, an enrichment educational experience for everybody here. And my little one will be here in about 2.5 years. So I'm even more excited for that. So thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Linda.
Next is our Poetry Out Loud.
So we have several student presentations. So Madeline Mullen and Jim Conley are coming up to introduce our Poetry Out Loud winner.
Hi everyone, my name is Madeline Mullen. I'm an English teacher here at Winnacunnet. This is my colleague Jim Connolly, also an English teacher here at Winnacunnet. We were so excited to bring Poetry Out Loud back here after a little gap after COVID. And Jim and I are so passionate about infusing more spaces for poetry in our school because we really believe about the power of investigating language, and poetry asks us to consider what we can take from honest and authentic and beautiful exploration of language. So we were so excited to create space for that for our student body. And Sophie Garcia has been performing and competing in first our school competition and then semifinals, and just performed in the state final competition in Concord. She absolutely has blown us away, every step of the way. And though Jim and I tell her every single time, I don't think she truly understands what an accomplishment this is. It has been so impressive and honestly incredible. And her audaciousness and her courage to perform in these spaces is truly, I think, a portrait of a Winnacunnet student and their ability to explore true learning opportunities in these new spaces. So we're so excited for you all to see Sophie perform one of the 3 poems she memorized for this opportunity. So come on up, Sophie.
A Man's Requirements by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. 1. Love me sweet with all thou art, feeling, thinking, seeing. Love me in the lightest part, love me in full being. 2. Love me with thine open youth in its frank surrender, with the vowing of thy mouth, with its silence tender. 3. Love me with thine azure eyes, made for earnest granting, taking color from the skies. Can heaven's truth be wanting? 4. Love me with their lids that fall snow-like at first meeting. Love me with thine heart that all neighbors then see beating. 6. Love me with thine hand stretched out freely, open-minded. Love me with thy loitering foot, hearing one behind it. 6. Love me with thy voice that turns sudden faint above me. Love me with thy blush that burns when I murmur. Love me. 8. Love me with thy thinking soul, break it to love sighing. Love me with thy thoughts that roll on through living, dying. 8. Love me when in thy gorgeous airs, when the world has crowned thee. Love me kneeling at thy prayers with the angels round thee. 9. Love me pure as musers do, up the woodland shady. Love me gaily, fast and true as a winsome lady. 10. Through all hopes that keep us brave, farther off or nigher, love me for the house and grave and for something higher. 11. Thus, if wilt prove me dear, woman's love no fable, I will love thee half a year as a man is able. Thank you.
Wow. That was amazing.
Very good.
Yeah, I know, I have goosebumps too. I'm like, all right. Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you so
And
much.
with that, she's gonna exit.
Yeah. Exit stage left.
Always best to leave them wanting more.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Sophie.
Next up, I have Lieutenant Colonel Eric Drown and some students from the ROTC program.
Well, that's a tough act to follow. Yes, good evening, school board members, Superintendent Nadeau, Principal McGowan, and guest. Thank you for allowing me and some fellow cadets here to speak to you tonight. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Eric Drown. I'm the senior Marine instructor here at Winnacunnet High School. So on behalf of myself and Master Wise, first of all, I would say we truly appreciate having the opportunity to be instructors here at Winnacunnet. We both worked at different high schools before, and we love being part of the Winnacunnet family. We enjoy our mission here of working with students and challenging them to be better citizens, students, and leaders, at the same time trying to get them prepared for life after high school. So we truly enjoy that mission. We mentioned earlier that the Friends of Winnacunnet were here. I want to say thanks to the Friends of Winnacunnet. They provided these blue polos for us. What that does allows us, when students are not currently enrolled in the program, they're able to participate, and we're able to kind of show solidarity with each other without having them be in grooming standards for them to wear the uniform. So that allows us kind of a little flexibility throughout the year with our trimester system. So that's great help. They've also recently, we recently received funds from the Friends of Winnacunnet for a safety speaker. What that does is going to allow us to do take advantage of some of our outdoor training events and leadership camps and provide command and control during those events and allow for safety. I'd like to say thank you to the Hampton Academy and Winnacunnet High School Alumni Association. They've been incredibly generous. We recently received financial support, and what that allows us to do is basically anyone that wants to participate in our activities or events has the ability to do that without worrying about the cost of those events. So thank you. So basically, those examples kind of show how the school and how the community has supported our program. So we want to say thank you for that. Also have some quarterly newsletters that I'd like to hand out. Bill,
Now there's leadership.
I think we've already sent you one, so I think we're short one.
Yeah,
so-
I've had one now
Yeah,
as well,
okay.
so that's okay.
I have it.
Thank you. Priority.
But yeah, so these are some of the events that we've done this year. So it's our quarterly newsletter. This was created by Mass Art and Wise, who's not he was unable to be here tonight, but so it kind of gives you a snapshot of what we've done. And we normally will send those out to organizations that in the past have supported us, whether it's the American Legion, the different local community groups, and like the Marine Corps League as well. So, and then now I'd like to introduce a couple of our cadets. We have First Lieutenant Cadet Reagan Sink. She's a senior. She's a commanding officer. She will be graduating this year, and she plans to attend UNH and to be part of their ROTC program. And then we have Second Lieutenant Jameson LaFleur. He's our executive officer. He's a junior, and after graduation, he plans on joining the Air Force. So tonight, basically, I've asked them to kind of come up here and kind of give you a few examples of some of their experiences in the program, and then to also kind of highlight some of the events that we have done so far this year, and then ones that we will hopefully get to do later this school year. So with that, once again, thank you, and here's Cadet First Lieutenant Sink.
Hi, I'm Reagan Sink. I've been in the program for 4 years, and I really can confidently say that I've completely changed as a person because of the program. Freshman year, I was pretty quiet, but outside of lunch, didn't really have a whole lot to say. And now I'm up in front of the school board talking. So that's clearly a big change. It's really helped me grow as a person. I'm much more confident now. And it's helped me with college a lot. Like, this looks amazing on all the applications and scholarships. And I do plan on doing the Army ROTC at UNH, which I just recently was granted a $130,000 scholarship to become, mainly because, thank you. It was obviously during the interview process from me, but a big part of it was all my experience in our JROTC program and all the activities I've done, and was able to, the awards I received from it, I was able to write those. And I was told that a big part of it was because of this program, that I don't think a lot of students are able to say they were given that from a school, especially, I don't want to say UNH is a smaller school, but from UNH, which was pretty awesome. On the subject of scholarships, they actually helped me apply for the national scholarship for the ROTC program. So fingers crossed with that. And I've gotten to experience a lot of things that other classes I haven't been able to experience. Like, what other class do you get to learn how to safely handle a weapon? And then compete against other students that know how to do that. That's really amazing. And then also all the community service activities that I've had the opportunity to participate in. Only reason I'm in the Winter Corps is because of this. Just overall, I've improved myself, like a great thing to look at is my transcript. You can see like a distinct change in between like sophomore and junior year when I really started to get involved, that I went from a B student to an A student, which really helped my GPA. Overall, I think one of the best decisions I've made as a Winnacunnet student was joining the ROTC program.
Well, congratulations on your success. That's
Thank you.
amazing. Thank you.
Someone set up the floor.
I have to agree with everything that Cadet First Lieutenant Sink said too, actually. Like, I am in the same boat as her, but I just want to list off some of the events that we've also done in the program this year too. So we have Seafood Festival support, where we basically just did volunteering hours and we just helped out with guiding people to the correct buses and everything. 9/11 ceremonies, where we did color guards in front of the American Legion Award and in downtown Hampton. Veterans Day events. So we would just go to each town and then do another color guard and then just basically show our support. And then after that, we have Wreaths Across America, where we place wreaths on veterans' graves, another volunteering event. Devil Dog Challenge, which is a student-driven program where we team up with a bunch of different schools, mainly in Massachusetts, other JRTCs, mainly Marine Corps, like Salem, Haverhill, and Assabet, just to name a few.
And it's called what?
Devil Dog Challenge.
It is Devil Dog. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I heard that, but I was like, all right.
No, it's a weird name, but it's for the Marines. But other than that, we also have a marksmanship team where we're actually this Saturday going to an event for a competition against those same schools that I just listed off. And JRTC Military Ball, where we basically all went to Danvers Yacht Club for a big acceleration basically of all of our ROTCs and our accomplishments. And then Penguin Plunge support, which was a lot, and it was a lot of fun. And it's probably one of our biggest events in winter. And next up for what we want to do next is Manchester St. Patrick's Day Parade. Have a lot of cadets there just to march. New England College JRTC Day. Go just look over some of the things that they offer, especially to students graduating from Winnacunnet. Memorial Day parades, of course, for volunteer hours and to help out. And then finally a summer leadership program, which we usually do every summer, just to really get a connection to those schools that I had also mentioned before, usually being 3 days to a week. So, but yeah, other than that, great program.
They keep you busy, right?
Definitely.
Oh my God. Thank you for all the time you put in.
Of course, thank you.
It's
There's
amazing.
our latest newsletter. You actually get 2.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
I think I got it, but I'll take it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Speaking of the St. Patrick's Day parade, we just found out that I think New Hampshire has the highest concentration of
Yes, of our, yeah. I know. I don't know where we're hiding.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all very much.
Next one is,
Okay, next one we have teachers Catherine Ash and Kate McKinney, and they're going to talk about the Scholastic Award winners and the Spark Literary Magazine.
It's amazing. The spark, yeah.
Good evening. I am Kate McKinney, and I'm here to present our Scholastic Writing Awards winners. We have 3 Writing Awards winners this year. It is 3 seniors who have submitted a writing portfolio with 6 pieces each. And according to the Scholastic, they were over, and I cannot see, 800 submissions, sorry. And all students' work was judged on the basis of their originality, their skill, and emergence of a personal voice. And these 3 students received 2 silver awards and 1 honorable mention. So I would like to present Brendan, Amelia, and Madeline. Please come up here, and this is all I'll say. I'll just let them, if you have any questions, ask them. I just wanted them to be congratulated and want you to know about this opportunity. Does anybody have any questions?
yeah.
What did you each win for? Can you share a little about your piece or what you did?
Yeah, so I got my name is Amelia Dumont, by the way. Nice to meet you all. And so I won the Silver Key Award for my portfolio called The Experience. And all of my pieces, there's 6 to a portfolio, started with the word like the, so like the and then like a noun. So that's why it's called The Experience. And mine was just kind of about the typical kind of teenage experience, but a lot of times in literature, you know, especially with like young adult novels, they're written by like adults, like older people who maybe don't really fully understand the kind of teen experience. So I had a few different genres in there. I had a comedy, 2 poems, my personal essay from my college application, and a few short stories. And yeah, I basically just kind of examined what it was like to be a teenager from lots of different perspectives and, you know, ages, backgrounds, and that was a bit about my portfolio.
Hi, I'm Braden Fisher. I was the honorable mention one, so I'm not the cool one. But mine was about kind of like there was a couple stuff that I did for the Winter Chronicle. Do the Winter Chronicles. So there was a couple stories there, and then a couple of creative writing stuff for English class. And I think the common theme that I tried to find through like, all of them was kind of like you know, kind of like profiling like a fictional character or like a staff member or something like that, and kind of like just kind of exploring how like what makes them tick, how their mind works and stuff like that, and kind of just trying to derive kind of like I don't know, a good story out of it, I guess. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's good.
Hi, I'm Madeline Wilworth. I also got a silver key on my portfolio, and then after submitting my portfolio, each piece I submitted as it, I also submitted individually. So I got another silver key and 2 honorable mentions on them individually. So my portfolio was titled Growing, Changing, and it's a bunch of pieces that I had already made over the past like 3 years or so, and 2 of which were nonfiction, creative nonfiction. One was a poem, and then the other one was like a short story type thing. I had 2 poems and then 4 short stories, and basically what I was trying to do is when I'm writing, the thing that interests me the most is characters and what makes them unique, and not just like, you know, a character, like an actual person. What are their weird likes and quirks, and like, do they repeat words too often? Do they stutter or play with their ring? So I really tried to dig into like big moments in a person's life and how they individually view them and interact with the world around them in those moments. So I had like a college student and her best friend from childhood parting. Like, one was staying in a small town and the other one was going away. And I wrote about that, and it was like 7 pages, like a long short story. And then I also had like moments from my own life, like how I grew as a person. And I used, it was a poem, so I used like raspberries when I was talking about it, because I was trying to use like an outward object to kind of express meaning. So a lot of my pieces followed that theme.
Nice. Awesome.
Congratulations.
I just want to mention, because I was rushing, they kind of downplayed, but really there were only 6 Silver Key senior portfolios that have won in the state of New Hampshire, and they are really in good company. Phillips Exeter was one of them, St. Paul's, Kimball Union Academy, and Oyster River. So they're up there. And there were only 3 honorable mentions. And so we have Braden, and then Manchester Memorial High School, and Guilford. So that is an accomplishment. Out of 800 people.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations again.
My name is Catherine Ash. I co-advise the Lit Mag with Mrs. McKenney. And last year, after our publication was completed, Mrs. McKenney, I don't know if you had learned of or had already known, but nonetheless, she decided that we should submit our Lit Mag for the
National Council of English of Teachers.
Thank you. Yes, I can never remember the exact abbreviation. It's the NCTE. And they have a specific competition for the lit mags around the country. And it actually goes beyond the country. There are 5 countries that are participants in this competition. And in New Hampshire, we were fortunate enough to place 3rd, which was a really wonderful accomplishment for a few reasons. One, this is a completely student-led publication. We're very hands-off. They do so much of the work. And 2, because we were not thinking of trying to compete at all. We were just putting together a really great magazine. And so it was so impressive, and it always has been impressive, to see the way that the team comes together to make the best publication they can. And they're highlighting all of the best work from Winnacunnet, which I know we've shared copies of it with you before. So you know how wonderful the artwork and the literature is that so many of our students are able to create. So I just wanted to recognize, can our Lit Mag people stand up, please? Come on up. So this is Allison Cross, Kara Martin Biggs, and Amelia Shannon, and all 3 of them are current editors. You 2 are co-editors-in-chief currently, and last year I believe that the 2 of you were working in editorial positions as well, right? Yes. So last year's publication. So if you'd like to speak a little bit to how cool this is. Go ahead.
Sure. Do we want to talk about the other stuff too?
If you'd like.
Absolutely up to you.
Okay.
I know it's closing
I
very
know.
soon, so I'm feeling a little bit rushed.
Yeah, so we were just really excited to get this award because honestly we didn't even know that it had been submitted to that until we found out that we won. But yeah, but we also, we've gotten a lot of congratulations from it. We actually got recognition from the senator.
Deborah Altsheller, I don't know how to pronounce that, but yeah, she sent us a letter saying that how awesome it was that we got that, which we thought was really great.
We also got, we got into a couple like local newspapers, one of which was Winnacunnet.
Shout out to DJ Shaka for writing the article.
Nice. Yeah, we also got in that local one.
Yeah, so we also, I don't remember what that was called either, but there was also a local magazine that published an article about it. But yeah, so we were just really happy that our hard work was recognized, and we're really excited to start working on the magazine, which hopefully will be published beginning May is the hope. We're starting the actual layout tomorrow, actually, so we're very excited for that. And, yeah.
Can you just do me a favor and say your names once more?
Yeah.
I'm Allison Cross.
Okay.
I'm Kira Martin Biggs.
Yep.
And I'm Amelia Shannon.
Thank you.
She's the social media director. I don't think she said that, so.
Yay.
Follow the Instagram.
We like that.
I'll be posting when our read aloud of the new edition will be. We typically host it every year after we have our publication.
Oh, yes,
It's typically
definitely.
hosted at Winnacunnet.
Oh, nice.
Typically food is provided.
Yeah.
Would you make sure that the board gets notified?
Yeah,
Of
of
course.
course.
Yeah, because we would definitely
We
love
have
to.
Like
Watch out.
students and everyone come and look at the magazine, and then they can pick pieces,
Pass
or
it.
pieces that they'd like to read aloud to everyone, like in the community. We did a similar read aloud before of poetry pieces that we really enjoyed in the fall. So this is kind of our spring edition, our new edition. And we're really excited. We've worked really hard, and the pieces we have this year are incredible.
Awesome. A lot of great work.
Yeah.
Well, and I know we talked about it too last year. I have it with me. But getting it out into the public too, like coffee shops, things like that, libraries.
Yeah. I did the whole ELO in the fall, so they're in all of the sending school libraries right now, which has been going really great. I work at the library in Hampton. It's been like constantly checked out, so
Yep.
I don't even think it's on the counter right now.
Yeah.
But so that's been really great to see. Hopefully we can try to bring it into the community even more, but yeah.
All right, well, anything you need from us, any help, please come back, all right?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. I apologize for being rude and running out.
No, that's fine.
I'm just worried about we beat Phyllis Exeter in this one. They are lost.
There we go, I like that. Thank you.
I love it. Before we move on, I'm just gonna close public comment. Does anybody have any public comment? Okay, public comment is closed at
Yeah, and I was just saying, I know a lot of our guests are gonna be moving.
Yeah, you gotta,
so
go ahead.
give them a-
Thank you all for coming, we
thanks
really
again.
appreciate it. And
Congratulations, everybody. Oh my God, you could see her, you know, on Broadway. Well, and you could see her doing her
My phone wasn't, my pen wasn't working.
That's the total, and actually, Matt's, they are in there, but, this is what the trustee said, this is the balance as of the end of January.
Right.
25, and then when we discuss.
Winnacunnet Pride, Zoe.
I'm not quite sure what I did.
Go for it.
All right, so we just started the new trimester. We had finals last Thursday and Friday, and then Monday we had off, and then we started the new trimester yesterday. Student council, I feel like I haven't been here a while, so just to catch up, the freshmen finished their spring product fundraiser, and that went really well for them. The seniors finished their raffle fundraiser, and that also went really well. And then the junior class put on the winter semi-formal dance as their fundraiser, and that also went very well. And then we also had the winter pep rally and Spirit Week, which were a great success as well. And then this month, Student Council helped with the Step Up Day on March 5th. We helped with the panel, and then we're also at the activities fair. And then this week we are spending multiple days doing community service at the Partridge House. So yeah, and then we're just working on our application to the New Hampshire Association of Student Council's Honor Council Award. Because that takes a lot of time to prepare, and we're already planning the election for next year's officers, which is crazy. For the arts, the Shrek musical was this past weekend. March 25th is the band and chorus concert. And then Empty Bowls is this Saturday, put on by the Art Department and Interact Club. And then tomorrow is the National Honor Society induction ceremony. And then winter sports ended well. Boys ice hockey went to playoffs, and they lost to Spalding, sadly, but they made it to playoffs. And then spring sport preseasons have just started, so yeah.
Thank you. Awesome, thanks, Zoe. Next one, we have the, I need approval of the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from February 6th.
I'll second that.
Great. Any discussion or? No? All those in favor? Thank you.
I guess I'm abstaining.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. SAU reports.
I'll try to be really quick because as I look at this, a lot of these things have already occurred, but thank you to voters for supporting our budget, and again, welcome to Tracy. The joint board will meet on the 31st of March, and that will, agenda items include reorganization, a session with the New Hampshire School Board Association, some policy review, and discussion of the superintendent evaluation. We'll have another legislative meeting in mid-April, mid to late April, following crossover, so that's coming up. Please be on the lookout for a calendar invite for that. Let's see, I put in a few school news flashes. You've already heard a whole bunch about things that are happening here at Winnacunnet, so looking forward to the concert next week, and have been able to enjoy some other events. And just a highlight about the student leadership team. Last month we had a presentation from the New Hampshire Fair Funding Project. And they did an exercise with students where they were given a budget. What they found out at the end of the exercise was that they were given different budgets based on which is what happens in the state of New Hampshire, right? That students, local communities are able to raise different amounts of funding based on their property values, and so as they were working through the exercise of, oh geez, how much, were they gonna spend on their teacher salaries, and how many extracurriculars could they offer, they realized that there wasn't an equal amount of dollars to spend across these different high school communities as they were trying to make those decisions. So it was a good opportunity to engage in some discussion about how schools are funded in the state of New Hampshire and some of the inequities that exist across communities. So we met also yesterday, and our focus yesterday was really talking about technology and cybersecurity and the use of artificial intelligence. So it was a great opportunity for me just to hear from students about their varied experiences with those things and their perspectives on some of those issues, because we know those aren't going away, and it just informs our work and will inform our policy decisions as we move forward. So,
would it ever be possible to have the New Hampshire Fair funding come to the joint board to present?
Sure.
So people understood. I went to the one through SAU 90, but
yeah, we did that together last year in Hampton.
Okay.
But yeah, they certainly will come and do that.
Because it is very complex, and
It
it's
is.
good to understand the details of it.
Yeah.
I think I forgot some of them.
Yeah, I mean, certainly the operations committee sets the agenda for the joint board, so we can raise that in an upcoming meeting.
It's a good idea. It is. All right, thank you.
I don't know if Dr. Toomey wants to speak briefly.
Good evening. Thank you so much. I have a couple of quick items for you. I had talked to you about the special education satisfaction surveys that we had created to send out to our special education families, take a look at how well we were meeting those needs, and I provided the results for you for Winnacunnet here. Out of 172 families that they were sent to, we had 36 surveys returned, which was just over 20%, about 21%. So we were looking for 25 to 30%, but we're happy with that first stab in terms of having families let us know how we're doing. There were 4 parts to the survey and several questions in each part, and we did phenomenally well across the board here. When we talk about partnering with our families, experience with school staff was a big one, very, very high satisfaction rate. The department, the special services department, also had high ratings. And there was only one question in part 4, and I pasted the question here so you could see it. Overall, in all of the communities in the SAU, this was our lowest result of getting responses of agree or highly agree. And the question was, I suggest changes in school programs or services that I think would benefit my child and other students with disabilities. And so we didn't get as high in that particular category in question. So it caused us to reflect and say, are we asking at team meetings, at annual meetings, are we asking what we could do better, what changes we could make, what else would you like to see? So we're going to begin asking those questions. And then I pasted for you just a few of the optional comments. Most of this was just a Likert scale of 1 through 5, but then we had a open response at the end, just if there was any feedback they would like to provide. And again, talking about the teachers, calling them out by name, how wonderful the teachers are, how caring they are, and they've made a real difference for the kids here at Winnacunnet High School. So it was really nice. Thanks to everybody who participated. We have another survey coming from the state that we don't get to really dig in and see the individual data of, but it's still important. That's coming in April and May, so a plug for that. And then finally, the last meeting of the joint board, you all know we approved the suicide prevention plan for the next 2 years. It's linked again here so that everybody has it, and we call out this really important work that goes on so that we can be sure that we're meeting the mental health and emotional needs of our kiddos in all times of challenge, as well as in their times of all of the great things that we heard about tonight. So we do it all. Any questions for me? Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mayor. Thank you. Principal's report.
Okay, we're in the middle, we probably have about a month month left for the cost election for cost sign-ups for students. So the guidance department is working with our students to register for next year. And then we'll start, once we get that information at the end of April, we'll start scheduling next year's schedule for teachers. Hannaford Help Schools has, again, this is the 26 years that they run the Hannaford Help Schools program. It is now running through June 7th. And when you purchase items with Hannaford Help School tags, you'll receive $3 school dollars, or we receive $3 school dollars for every 4 participating products purchased. And over the years, we typically get anywhere between $1,000 and $2,000 from that program.
That's great.
Donations, we already heard from the Friends of Winnacunnet Foundation, the donations that they provide us, and it's a great program, and it supports our teachers and students. In addition to that, the United Way of Massachusetts Bay and Merrimack Valley donated $117.04 to support student services. And then Thomas J. Lang donated $100 to support the class of 2028. Enrollments are steady, just below 1,000 students. I think we covered most of the upcoming events. Tomorrow night is the National Honor Society induction. Saturday is the Empty Bowls. Next Tuesday, we have the SAU 21 Band and Chorus concerts. The Best Buddies has a craft fair on Sunday, April 13th. And then Monday, April 14th, we have the Dallas Brass Band concert with the Winnacunnet Band. And then on the spring break in April.
Nice. Just whipping by.
Crazy.
Certainly is. Any questions for Bill? Thank you, sir. Special services, we already just did that, right?
Amy Tarian's report is in there.
Curriculum's in there,
Is in
finance
there.
is in there. No,
Well,
finance
he's
and that
here.
is here. Facilities is in there, so
Yes.
Matt, please. It's what we wait for, you know that.
Oh, can I, before he goes?
Yes.
The other thing I just want to mention, the students had a great trip to Italy.
Oh, yes.
So there's a little write-up as far as what they've done. So a lot of it's, they did a lot of attended classes, participated in a bunch of different things. So next year, they are tentatively looking to go to back to London and Paris.
Nice.
So, they
Thank
just want
you.
to let me know,
Thanks,
and
Zoe.
we'll bring more information.
Okay. Yeah, so they had a much more successful Italy trip than the last one we went to.
Yeah, we kind of discussed that.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the first one since
First one for Italy.
No,
fateful
because
trip.
because they were in Italy when the COVID.
No, I
outbreak.
remember.
Oh, yeah, yeah. As we watched,
I remember the
here are the
panic
kids,
attack
here's
I was
COVID, here's the
having.
kids, here's COVID. It was like, yeah, a
Can you
little
send my
nerve-wracking.
baby home?
Yeah, perfect, all right. Matt?
Thank you. The year-to-date expenditure and revenue reports are both in board docs for review. As of this current month, our expenditure report is reflecting a $220,000 deficit. However, as discussed earlier, we do anticipate finishing the fiscal year with approximately $300,000 shortfall due to overages in buildings and grounds, vocational school tuition, special education services, and health insurance. Fortunately, we do have our expendable trusts that do provide a safeguard for managing some of these unanticipated costs. We do anticipate only using a portion of those available trusts, and we do expect to maintain a healthy balance for future unforeseen expenses. Additionally, we will consider potential warrant articles in the next fiscal year, or the next budget cycle rather, in order to replenish the trusts, and that will offer us the ability to ensure financial stability moving forward. Additionally, as I know you're all aware, we did receive the official results from last week's election, and we are very pleased that all of our proposed warrant articles did pass. When I say all, it was 2 and a citizens petition article. However, those 2 were very important. That was our operating budget and the full replacement of our roof. Additionally, we did have a citizens petition article for zero-based budgeting that also passed. However, I will note that per legal counsel, that article is advisory only. And regardless, it really has minimal impact because we're already employing a zero-based budgeting approach. So it is somewhat redundant. I do want to reiterate that the cost of that roof replacement project is fully funded with that passage of the warrant article. However, the actual project, due to the size and the scope, will be phased in over the next 3 summers. It is a significant project for the full replacement of this main building, as well as the gymnasium. Approximately 300,000 square feet plus, as well as the extensive skylights that we have in both buildings. So this capital improvement was strategically planned to coincide with the expiration of the existing bond that expires with our last payment this current fiscal year. So that was intended to minimize the financial impact to our taxpayers. As you know, our total costs, operating budget and warrant articles only saw a 0.74% increase from this current year, FY25, to next year, FY26. So we were very pleased that roof replacement project passed due to the size. It's a $2.5 million project is substantial, and as much as we tried to get the word out that it was coinciding with the bond expiration, and we were doing so for minimal tax impact. Obviously, we don't have the largest audience, or I don't have the largest audience with my budget presentations. So we feel pretty good about that. Additionally, with this project, it also presents us an opportunity moving forward to explore some solar energy generation options once that is complete. That wasn't an option obviously with the current state of the roof. However, as you know, solar ready was included in the specifications for the roof. So if that is something that makes financial sense, then that's something that we could look for, after in approximately 3 years when the roof project is complete. Be happy to answer any questions.
Anything? As always, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Continuing business, we have Communications Committee update. Desiree?
Quick update for you, and I'll keep it brief because I was going to cover some upcoming events, but most of them are here at Winnacunnet, which Bill already mentioned. So we recently released our spring events SAU calendar, and these are spotlighting events that are SAU-wide. They're not just for Winnacunnet or for that particular school. They're for anyone to go to, and also our community members. So in that, we had our joint SAU calendar. We also, this time around, featured a story from Southampton School, where their 2nd and 3rd graders toured the waste management facility in Rochester, where they learned about the recycling system and methane gas capture and how it's turned into power. It's our intent with these calendars to hopefully for next year, perhaps put them out quarterly with the calendar, but more focusing on stories from around the SAU. So that was kind of our first stab at it, featuring that story. Coming up in April, we'll have our last events calendar that we'll put out before the end of the school year, and we'll be focusing on more spotlighted stories from around the SAU, mainly all the maple sugaring that's happening right now. Yeah. So that's our goal with the future is to have that calendar and then also the stories from around the SAU. For submissions for events and stories, we have an email set up, which is communityevents@sau21.org. And that will also go out in an email that we'll be sending out hopefully in April and May, introducing the committee to the staff. And we'll include that, that email.
Excellent.
Yep, and everything I had was here at Winnacunnet with the exception of April 3rd through 5th in Northampton Middle School's production of Alice in Wonderland.
Ooh.
And then we'll have a new calendar coming up.
Great. So where can people find this calendar?
Yeah.
It
The
was sent
past
out.
one was sent out, yep, so we've emailed it out for distribution throughout the schools, but I don't know that we have it posted online.
Okay.
Which we probably should.
I would see if we could get them on the, we'd put them on the right, wouldn't you want them on the web?
Does it go to the board though?
Yeah, cause I didn't
get
see one,
anything.
so.
I didn't see one.
If maybe we can
Probably
see
went
if it
to
goes to the
parents.
board, yeah, just parents, but,
Probably did.
yeah.
Okay, maybe also to the joint board.
I'm making a note for us at the next
Hook us up.
meeting.
Yeah, hook us up.
Hook us up,
Desiree. I am too, Desiree.
If
And
there's a link
perhaps
on the website,
posting
I can just put
online.
on my message so the parents,
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
good too, yeah.
All right,
Okay.
beautiful. Thank you. All right, so we have policies for first read.
Yes, note that it also says end adoption.
Yes.
So these policies are all related to Title IX, and as you may be aware, there were the Title IX laws that were in effect were vacated in January of 2025 under the current administration. So this essentially is reverting back to the prior Title IX rules. So you'll see there are a couple of notes or a few notes in that were included in the agenda that speak to those particular policies, but the entire process for investigating Title IX and the steps and procedures that we follow are back to the procedures that we followed in 2020.
So what we need is a motion to.
Yes, to
And
waive
waive.
your policy on policy adoption, which is Oh, I see. PGAA, and then to adopt these policies so that we are in compliance with the law.
And if we say no, just out of curiosity.
But we would still be required to follow the law. It would just be more confusing, I think, to people who are making complaints to us, because
it.
then the policy doesn't match the actual law that we have to
Okay.
follow.
Motion to waive SHSB policy BGAA and approve the adoption as recommended for the 8 policies presented.
Can I just? And that should be WSB
Okay, I was like,
policy.
what is
Yeah.
SHSB?
You know what, as I was reading that too, I'm going,
It should have been
SHB, I'm like,
Board.
but
Like,
then I
is this
didn't,
Southampton School?
I'm thinking,
That would have been, yes.
Yeah.
is this just
So,
another
I
acronym
am
that we say
live
that?
editing
What is
right
it?
now.
Okay.
We're always
So you want me to
learning,
redo it?
I just, it says motion now, if you refresh, it says motion to waive the Winnacunnet School Board Policy BGAA and approve the adoption as recommended for the 8 policies.
Perfect.
presented.
There we go.
Okay.
Oh, shoot, I'm out of the meeting. Back in.
Any discussion,
No.
other than begrudgingly?
I will second.
Okay. All those in favor?
I'll abstain.
I had no first read, no second read.
Oh, we're first reading here.
This is the first, we waived the basically, that's
She
what this
said
is.
about 48 hours.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't blame you.
It's okay.
Not a problem. All right, and now we have the withdrawal from the Building Maintenance Expendable Trust. Could I get a motion?
Motion to withdraw up to 100,015 from the Building
115,000, yeah.
Maintenance Expendable Trust for unanticipated HVAC boiler and plumbing repairs.
I'll second that.
Second, great.
Yeah, and just thank you to Mr. Parkinson for being here this evening and providing that update Yeah, on the thank you balance very much. of 219,000.
What broke?
Do you want to address that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
number of
a lot of
different
pieces.
Like expansion tank, some sprinklers,
in the HVAC?
Basics controls that percent of life, top of your head, can you think of?
Is there anything beyond that that you can think of?
Pipe,
Boiler?
plumbing, situation.
Yeah, we've had plumbing, yeah.
A bunch of little things that added
Yeah.
up, basically. Yep.
Are we getting all the invoices?
Yeah.
Summarize those with a cover page and then put all of them behind it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I think Nancy has some of that already, doesn't she?
All right, perfect.
Yeah, and that, wouldn't that be in the facilities report? What?
Oh, yeah.
It was in some prior ones, yes.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but it's over the course of the year.
Oh,
so,
okay.
We'll create a summary when we
Right.
present.
Okay, good.
Or when we submit it to.
All right.
And when is the school meeting? So our next meeting is April 15th.
We're gonna submit it for that. Well, we can, now that we have approval, there's nothing holding us back, so we can.
I send everything out to the other trustees at least a week in advance, so that would be part of that package.
Absolutely.
Great. All right, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Thank you. And can I get one for the withdrawal from the school health insurance expendable trust?
Motion to withdraw up to $100,000 from the school health insurance expendable trust for health insurance premium costs.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Can I ask just one follow-on question to this? Is like next year's budget has accounted for the health insurance costs?
Yeah, we should be fine for next year. Well, I say that.
Matt.
Right?
In advance, but yes, we have,
And the rate was much lower
It
this
was.
time
We did a
than what
4
was last time, 20-something%.
Correct. We had a
Okay.
significant increase for this current fiscal year of 23%. Next year is 4.8%.
Okay.
All right, and then, so we're all set with, do we vote on that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so now we have expend or retained budgetary fund balance.
Wait, what, can you explain what this is? I'm sorry. Did we talk about this already?
So this is, we have,
We had the public hearing for the other ones, but.
yeah, and that was included as well, the retained
Oh.
balance. So that's
It was
just
C.
our retained balance, that we vote on in September. Every September, we can retain a certain percentage.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
As
Okay.
opposed to,
I got it.
returning to offset the
Yep.
tax assessment.
I understand now,
Um,
sorry.
That is just in case. So we're
Okay.
gonna do this every year, both the retained fund balance as well as the unanticipated revenue. It's just gonna be a formality that the auditors recommended that we do on an annual basis.
Okay.
Hopefully, we will not do the preceding trust withdrawals.
Yeah.
Right.
In future
Ideally,
years.
yes.
Yes, ideally, yeah, right, yeah.
I would prefer not to.
Okay. All right, so could I get a motion on that?
Motion to expend up to $165,000 from retained budgetary fund balance for unanticipated costs.
Thank you, and a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you, and last but not least, unanticipated fund costs.
Motion to expend up to $150,000 from surplus revenue funds for unanticipated costs.
Great, and a second?
Go for it,
Second.
Perfect.
All right.
All those in favor? My palm is itching, isn't that what when you're discussing money? All of a sudden I was like, oh, wait. I love it. All right, so then we have personnel, which will go into non-public. So our future meetings, joint school board meeting is Monday, March 31st.
At
6 o'clock. The joint board communications committee meeting is Monday, April 14th. And our next Winnacunnet school board meeting is April 16th. And if I could get a motion to go into non-public.
That's Nicole's.
That's Nicole's
my
thing.
favorite.
Yep, it is your favorite.
Motion for roll call to enter non-public session under RSA 91-A:3, Roman numeral 2A at 7:40 PM.
Thank you. Roll call?
Second.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Second. Either one.
Tricia.
Pick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tricia.
Alrighty. Desiree Potter,
Yes.
Leslie LaFawn,
Yes.
Nicole Seco,
Yes.
Tricia O'Keefe,
Yes.
and Tracy Williams.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right, thank you very